नमः हरि ओम।
शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं
शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं
प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये।
प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये।
अगजानन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम्
अगजाननपद्मार्कं गजाननम् अहर्निशम्
अनेकदं तं भक्तानाम्
अनेकदं तं भक्तानाम्
एकदन्तमुपास्महे।
एकदन्तम् उपास्महे।
ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम्
ज्ञानानन्दनिर्मलं देहं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम्
आधारं सर्वविद्यानाम्
आधारं सर्वविद्यानां
हयग्रीवमुपास्महे।
हयग्रीवमुपास्महे।
वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ
वागार्ताविव सम्पृक्तौ
वागर्थप्रतिपये
वागर्तप्रतिपतये
वागर्थ जगतः पितरौ वन्दे
जगतः पितरौ वन्दे
पार्वती परमेश्वरौ।
पार्वती परमेश्वरौ।
Now we recite the first sloka of Savananda Lahari. Kalabhyam Chudalankruta
कलाभ्यां चूडालङ्कृता
Shashikalabhyam
शशिकलाभ्यां
Nijatapah Phalabhyam
निजतपः फलाभ्यां
Teshu Prakatita Phalabhyam
वन्देषु प्रकटितफलाभ्यां
Bhavatu Me
भवतु मे।
Shivabhyam
सारी गुरुजी।
Shivabhyam
शिवाभ्यां
Astoka Tribhuvana Shivabhyam
अष्टोकशिभुवनत्रिवा शिवाभ्यां
हृदि पुनर्भवाभ्याम
हृदि पुनर्भवाभ्यां
आनन्दस्फुरदनुभवाभ्याम
आनन्दस्फुरदनुभवाभ्यां
नतिरियम
नतीर्यम्।
ओम नमो शंकराय.
ॐ नमो शङ्कराय।
So we have been trying to know what Acharya Shankara wants to know or advise us in respect of the tenets or in respect of the folds of bhakti, because Lord Shiva is accessible through bhakti, and sthira bhakti yoga. It should be yoga of sthira bhakti, constant devotion, and the bhakti will take its roots in the frame of mind, and that mind is a very fickle one, and mind makes people happier or not happier. Therefore, a prayer has been done that the mind has got to be kept under control, and even for that also we want the anugraha of Lord Shiva, and Shiva should take care of the mind of all people, because he is a Shiva, he is a provider of Shanti to all people, absolutely to everybody. In other words, Shiva is capable of granting Sampurna Arogya, Sampurna Aishwarya to all people. Therefore, We have been trying to know that during Sandhya time, Parmasiva will be dancing, and there are so many metaphors employed for Lord Shiva staying in the mountains. Now, which sloka, Radharishmi garu, which sloka I should do? We have done.
చెప్తానండి 53 చేస్తున్నాను.
Good,
52
thank you.
అయిపోయిందండి 53 we have to start.
Yeah. So we have just seen in 52 sloka that Shiva has been recognized, appreciated for his special feature as Neelakantha. You see in the 52nd last line, I just read fully. Karunyamrita varshinam dhanavipat krishmachida karmatham vidyasasya phalodayaya sumanasas samsevyamichakritim nrutyad bhakta mayuram adrinilayam chanchajjatamandalam shambho vanchati neelakandhara sadatvam me manaschataka. So in this sloka we have observed that he is a Neelakandhara, Shambhu, and Chanchajjatamandala, and Nritya, and Karunya Amrita Varshana. So Lord Shiva is the one who will be able to shower the Karuna upon the Bhaktas, and something like the clouds that give rain, and that rain becomes the food for the Chataka birds. And mind of the people is important because that mind is always aspiring good, bad, and different. But here the Bhakta is to be making his mind aspiring for the Amrita Varsham, which is the Karuna of Deva. And that Karuna he will be able to shower when he is in absolute happiness or Amrita. Only people who are in happy mood, in a dancing mood, in an enthusiastic mood, they will be able to grant what we want. The rain gives us sasyam or lot of crops, fulfillment of complete crop. But here in our case, what we want from Lord Shiva is Vidya Sasyam. Vidya is the knowledge. Vidya is the wisdom. Vidya is the tool. Vidya, there are hundreds of definitions or interpretation for the word Vidya because all Upanishads are taken as Vidyas. Each Upanishad will teach you a marga, and through upasana of that Upanishad, we will be able to accomplish happiness totally, ultimately. Therefore, Vidya Phalam, and moreover, Sumanasaha Samsevyam Ichakritim. Sumanasaha, there are so many meanings. Sumanasa means gods. Gods are worshipping, and for worship we have to use good sumas. Suma is a flower. So we will offer flower to the feet of Paramatma, and he is a Mayura. He is just likened to the Mayura. So whatever Mayura he is anxiously doing, and that Mayura is being brought out here. Therefore, Mayura, that is the peacock, the Chataka bird, they are brought into picture for our metaphorical discussion. And ultimately, Shambho Neelakandhara. So Neelakandhara means that he has achieved the maximum kirti by taking that, by making himself the Kandhara, the throat or neck becoming blue. That's the greatest feat he has done. Therefore, submission here is that we are all like that. We want Amrita Varshanam. That's why even the Sri Vidya mantra also contains the Bola mantra that Amrita Varshini, Amrutam means Sravaya, Sravaya, Sravaya. So Parameswari is an Amruta Varshini. She gives you the sweet nectar or liquid as the food for her. And there is nothing to replace Amrutam. So she is Amrutodbhave, Amrute, she is Amruta, Amrutodbhava. If Parvati is Amruta, Shiva is also Amruta. And what is the Amruta that they will give? It is like Karunya Amruta and otherwise Moksha Amruta. All that only Parvati and Parameswara are able to grant us. So Shambho Nilakandhara Sada Svam Me Manaha Vanchati. So here the Bhakta is submitting that what is that your mind is constantly asking for? Apart from so many other things, mundane pleasures, mundane Aishwaryam and all that, but ultimately what it should have want is the Karuna of Shiva and has to be served by him. After that Karuna metaphor, now again one more metaphorical expression is there in the sloka number 53 and Manogaru, please repeat it. Akashena Sikhi
आकाशेन सिखी समस्तफणीनाम् आकाशेन सिखी समस्तफणीनाम्
Samastaphaninam
समस्तफणिनाम्
Nitra Kalapi
नेत्राकलापीनता नेत्राकलापीनता
Anugrahi Pranavopadesa Ninadaihi
अनुग्रहाहि प्रणवोपदेश निनदैहि अनुग्रहाहि प्रणवोपदेश निनदैहि
Ke Kiti Yogiyate
के कीर्तियो गीयते के कीर्तियो गीयते
Syamam Shaila Samudbhavam
श्यामां शैलसमुद्भवां श्यामां शैलसमुद्भवां
Ganaruchim Društva Natantam Muda
घनरुचिं दृष्ट्वा नटन्तं मुदा घनरुचिं दृष्ट्वा नटन्तं मुदा
Vedantopavane Vihararasikam
वेदान्तोपवने विहाररसिकं वेदान्तोपवने विहाररसिकम्
Tam Nilakantham Bhaje.
तं नीलकण्ठं भजे तं नीलकण्ठं भजे.
So this is a continuation of the prayer of the Bhakta saying that the Nilakandhara is a compliment given to him, and as Nilakandhara expecting, and also Shiva has to give the Karuna Amruta Varsham there. Now in this same thing, who is this Nilakantha or who is this blue nectar lord? Is Satakantha, Siddhikantha and Nilakantha. And where is he doing? Nilakantham bhaje. In this sloka, last line, I am going to devote myself to this great Lord Shiva, Nilakantham. And what is the immediate nature of him? He is Vedanta Upavane, Vihara Rasikam. See, he has great fascination to delight himself, to entertain himself in the pleasure garden of the Vedanta. So Vedanta Upavanam. Upavana is the pleasure garden. Actually, see, the Vedanta has been compared metaphorically to a pleasure garden, to Upavanam. And Upavanam will have so many kinds of trees and flowers and all that, that will engage your attention and that will entertain your mind or that will give delight to the mind. But so normally to the Vedanta Upavanam, people hardly think of going. But here specifically he is asking that he wants to have that Vedantic Jnanam. And he is called, see, Natanugrahi. Who is this Lord Shiva? He is one who will be able to bless all those people who surrender absolutely to him. Nata, nata, nata is important. Natihi, nata. That is, you have to bow down your head. I have to surrender. Nothing you keep. See, ego must slowly disappear because the Lord Shiva is said to be Yatinam Yatihi. And he is Yati for Yatis, meaning that he has got that ideal practice of being a Vairagya person who is not committed to anything, who does not desire anything, but absolutely in peace. And what is that? Pranavopadesha ninadaihi keki iti yogiyate. See, keka is a pleasant sound. Keka is a mayura dhvani because the keka is being made by a mayura or a peacock. It's called in Sanskrit keki. So keka shabda the bird makes, so it is called keki. Similarly, we have got the names given either to birds or animals depending upon the kind of dhvani the animal produces. And that's what we call anavata because they don't have a language. For example, you see, when you talk about the cow, you say amba. The amba sound comes from the cow. And keka sound comes from the mayura. Or what is that mayura? Ra is sound. Mayu is a pleasant sound. So the sound of the peacock, which you normally listen during the evening times. Probably in the evening time when it is Sandhya Kala, at that time the peacocks will cry and it will be so mayuram. And so Akasena Sikhi Samasta Paninam Netra Kalapi Nata and Anugrahi. What is that keka here? Pranavopadesha Ninadaihi. Pranava is the Omkara. The Om Akara, Ukara, Makara. The Omkara is a big subject in our Vedantic thing. All Upanishads do talk about the Omkara and they explain what Akara represents, Ukara represents, and Makara represents. They represent 3 lokas, they represent 3 Vedas, they represent Triguna. Okay, like that. So that Pranavopasana is important. And Syamam Shaila Samudhavam Ghanaruchim Drishtva Natantam Muda. See, who is this Lord Shiva is like that Mayura, because normally the Mayuras looking at the cloud on the top of the cliff of the mountain, dark in color and rain giving, Ghana Ruchi. Gruchi is the Kanti, Ghana is the cloud. Drishtva Natantam, it will be dancing out of happiness, and that would happen to the Mayura. But what about our Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva is dancing in the Vedanta Udyanavana, and he always likes to be in the garden, in the field of Vedantic knowledge. That means Tyaga. What is Vedanta? Vedas tell you all about the sacrifices, but the sacrifices have got wisdom behind the performance, because that sacrifice is a practical knowledge, but when you reflect upon the mantras that are employed as formulas in the sacrifices, they definitely show forth a lot of wisdom, and that wisdom is the pranavam. And so the Paramatma will give you Pranavopadesha, and through that Pranava Upasana, he will be able to be obliging our request. Therefore, on one way, the peacock is dancing, looking at the cloud. In another aspect, Lord Shiva, looking at that beautiful Parvati, he became very much happy and he starts dancing. So Parvati also is brought into picture in this sloka. So whenever the Parvati Parameswara Dampatya is always proverbial, because they happen to be Jagata Pitaro, and therefore that kind of happiness is there. And Keka. So in this sloka, you find Vedantopavane Vihara Rasikam. The Bhakta Shankara or anybody is telling that I do desire to be a student of Vedanta, so that I would be able to get the Atma Gnana. I will be able to understand myself, and I will be getting the Omkara as a matter of tool for me to get on to the Vedanta Upamana and also have the enjoyment, the Vihara, because what is true and enjoyable for Shiva is true for his Bhakta or the followers. So like Shiva only, all followers will have to be. Therefore, in Rudram also you come across the same thing. Who is Rudra? Rudra is present in any and everything, everybody in the creation. So that you can understand that everybody is important. Everybody is to ultimately work for winning the grace of Lord Rudra. So in that manner, here the Acharya Shankara is telling that Sikhi Samasta Phaninam Netra Kalapi Natanugrahi Pranavopadesa Ninada. Ninada is the Nada. Nada or sounds. What is the Ninada? What is the reverberating high sound? Kekiti. And what is that? Keka is a Ganam. Giyate. So whatever is Gana, whatever is sing, whatever is sung with melody, that becomes that. So melodious Dhvani will please even the Vedantic persons. That's why Purandaradasa says one of the definitions of music, Sangeeta is Andavada Dhvani. The Andamainatuvanti Shabdam. So Andamaina Shabdamu Ganamu. That is the music. Here also Giyate Kekiti. That is the book song, because the bird cannot have more. So looking at this Shaila Samudbhavam Syamam Dhanaruchim. Here, not only the cloud is indicated, but Shaila Samudbhava means Girikanya, that is Parvati. So Kala Drushtva, looking at Parvati, Parameswara dances. Looking at Parameswara dancing, Parvati also starts dancing. So both are wonderful dancers. Wonderful, and also not significantly, their dance is being very much followed by all people. Therefore, you must be a Vihara Rasika. The Bhakta, as is Shiva, you should also be one taking delight to acquire the Vedantic knowledge, as we are all now students. So Vedanta is not a separate lecture program, but the Vedantic seeds are there, sowed in the Bhakti. For example, when you are studying Bhagavad Gita or Saundarya Lahari or Durga Saptasati or some such scriptures, it is not named as Vedanta, but you get the contents of Vedanta, influence of the Vedantic knowledge and wisdom will dawn in our mind. Our mind will start liking that. Actually, after all, mind is our own. Mind is our own. And therefore, something like in America, people say, toys are us, babies are us, or like that. You go for the shopping. So the toys are ours. In that manner, the mind is ours. When mind is ours, when we own the mind, we can always mend the mind. So when you want to mend the mind, in what way you can mend? When you once enter into the Vedanta Upavana, then automatically you get your mind well trimmed and directed in that. That's why he says you have to pick up the desire to enter into the Vedanta garden and see that you will be able to enjoy it. And there is all kinds of entertainment. So that's what it is said. Now, next verse. Sandhya Dharma Dinatyayo.
Sandhya Dharma Dinatyayo. Sandhya Dharma Dinatyayo.
Harikara Ghata Prabhutana Kadvano.
Harikara Ghata Prabhutana Kadvano. Harikara Ghata Prabhutana Kadvano.
Varida Garjitam.
Varida Garjitam. Varida Garjitam.
Divishadam Drushtihi.
Divishadam Drushtihi. Divishadam Drushtihi.
Jata Chanchala.
Jata Chanchala. Jata Chanchala.
Bhaktanam Paritosha Bashpavitatihi.
Bhaktanam Paritosha Bashpavitati. Bhaktanam Paritosha Bashpavitati.
Drushtihi Mayuri.
Drushtihi Mayuri. Drushtihi Mayuri.
Shivayasmin.
Sivayasmin. Sivayasmin.
Ujjwalatandavam Vijayate.
Ujjwalatandavam Vijayate. Ujjwalatandavam Vijayate.
Tam Nilakantham Bhaje.
Tam Neelakantham Bhaje. Tam Neelakantham Bhaje.
So,
I think last three of them he started talking about mostly Neelakandara, Neelakantham Bhaje. Before that, if I remember correctly, Sri Srilavashi, Mallikarjuna, those are the ones we read before. Of course, I missed one class in between, but
it is not much lost because it is like a Veda. Even
yeah.
if you lose one mantra, it hardly matters. Because all the bhakti flow, bhakti nadi is keeping on going. And trying to metaphorically describe Shiva about whom we do not know. Actually, we don't know the personality of Lord Shiva or Goddess Parvati, what are their features, what are their expectations, how they are able to grace people. And there are so many questions that we get. But all those questions are answered by the poets, by the bhaktas, because they have the understanding, they have the vision, they have the knowledge. You must have observed the dhyana slokas vary depending upon the persons. If, for example, you take that Vishnu Sahasranamam, there are many dhyana slokas in Vishnu Sahasranamam. But you, depending upon your convenience, you may recite all the nine or something like that, or just to pick up Shantakaram Bhujasayanam and start saying Vishwam Vishnu. Even in case of Lalita Sahasranamam, even in case of Durga Saptasati, even in case of any such prarthanas you take up, you have got that preliminary mantras are there. Lakshmi Narasimha Sahasranamam or Shiva Sahasranamam, you may think that. So what is that? Whenever you have that, before that you should know the picture, how that's picture necessary for your mind to start meditation. After all, what is meditation? Meditation is to channelize your mind in a particular direction. Ultimately, you will see or conceive or perceive the object which you are meditating upon. That's why in Lalita Sahasranamam, elsewhere also you can find that expression, Dhyana Jatru, Dheya. So Dhyana Rupa, Jatru Rupa, and Jaya Rupa. So if you want to imagine Lalita Parameswari, she is the Jnana Rupam. So she is the meditation. And Dheya is the goal of meditation. Jatru is the person who meditates. So Lalita is present in all the three forms. Therefore, whenever we take to meditation, it means that we are Lalitas, or we are the goddess, or we are the gods, and there is no difference. That's exactly what we call Nyasa. See, you know that there are Nyasas. Though you do not do separately as Nyasa, but we have got Ekanyasa, Trayanyasa, Panchanyasa, Saptanyasa, and hello? I'm in the class. Oh. Hello? So, yeah. So like that, here also you said Nilakantha, Nilakandhara, and like that, there are so many attributes offered to Lord Rudra or Shiva that we can understand the personality. So Shiva is abstract, Parvati is abstract, but abstract meditation is very hard. But only a yogis, yoginambaras, they only will be able to conceive and visualize. But it is not possible for all people. So all people have got to depend upon the visionaries like Shankara or anybody. There are many people who are very much intimate with the God, and therefore see. And moreover, what happens, they are also bound by time. The Kala is common to all creatures in the creation, including gods. Even gods also are bound by the time. And even Parameswara also. That's why Kalaya Namaha, Mahakalaya Namaha, Kalagni Rupaya Namaha, and so Mahakalagni Rudraya Namaha, like that. We have so many categorizations, just to taking Kala as the base. And therefore, as the time comes, we are all as advised that we have to accordingly stipulate our mode of worship. And we do like that. And for the mode of worship also, our mind will be accordingly framing itself. So the frame of mind varies from time to time per day, but you have got to exercise something. Therefore, here you observe Neelakantam bhaje, Neelakantam seve, Neelakantam. So the verbs, if you observe, depending upon, so bhaje means you try to completely take share in the joy of Lord Shiva at your own level. And you, whenever you devote yourself to God, which means you are not yourself, but you belong to the God. So Daivadhinam, you are the Daivadhina. That's why in Bhagavatam, you get an impression that our body is originally owned by the Paramatma. Though we are offering, we live in body or we have a body, that body is not. That is a Daiva Shariram. That's a Divya Shariram. A Divya Shariram, if we understand and act accordingly, we will be getting the Divya Anubhava and Divya Vastu, etc. But when you consider only our body to be just ordinary, it's our own, and we have the Indriyas, Indriyarthas, etc., then we are not at all being supported by the Paramatma. He will leave us into a pravaha. That's what we call samsara pravaha or samsara jari, or it is called karma jari and all that. Therefore, here, when especially Lord Shankara, Acharya Shankara is trying to introduce us the bhakti to be wonderful tool or vidya through which only you can approach the abstract top level. And moreover, through bhakti, you can make the inaccessible fellows to be accessible for you. What is that bhakti? Absolute surrender and culture. Bhakti is a culture with which you are able to attract people. So cultured people are always appreciated and attracted rather than non-cultured people. Therefore, you see that, and the santosha is the most important factor. See, looking at a peacock, looking at the cloud on the cliff of the cliff, looking at the color, and the peacock is able to assess, definitely the cloud is going to shower rain. And looking at that cool cloud being there, then because the shakunam is primarily comes from the birds and animals. So that's why shakuna is the woman. The omens are being given to us through the birds at first. They are the first astrologers, if at all I were to say. And not only they are astrologers, they are our gurus also. That's why you observe our Vishnu Sarma and Narayana Pandita, they have taken wonderful lead to educate the three sons of that Amarasimha Maharaja, and he created Panchatantra and Upadesha, and through which the entire political, all kinds of wisdom is infused into Rajakumaras, eligible to hold the country and organize and administer. That's why the birds and animals are our great support. And in the same manner, even to pick up the Bhakti Marga, even to recognize the natural comfort that we are able to get on, what is that? Nature is there. Nature is our teacher. When we make the nature as our teacher, we learn a lot. If not, if we ignore the nature, we'll be uncomfortable. And therefore, unfortunately, man is the only one animal which can acclimatize. Acclimatization, that is adjustable to the climate in which the man is being placed. Unlike a fish, if the fish comes out of the water, it will die. Like that, if you bring such, but man alone, the human being alone is eligible to be able to accommodate, adjust, and acclimatize himself, and not complaining anything, but goes with the stream of the climate also, the weather. Because of that great power or gift given by the God, he is able to stand for bhakti in however manner it is possible and please the higher ups, see that they get rid of the birth and death cycle and all that. Therefore, we should imagine that when peacocks are brought into picture, or when the Chataka birds are brought into picture, or some such birds, then you imagine that there is going to be a great amount of advice. See, Pasavaha Upadeshtaraha, Pasupachadayaha Upadeshtaraha, Manavanam. It is said there, Bana and such great authors tell that if man to man advise, they become angry. Who are you to advise me? But if an animal were to start advising, then people listen to that. That's exactly why the Karataka and Damanaka, the two jackals, they come in dialogue in the Hitopadesha or Panchatantra, and their dialogue is our wisdom, or human wisdom, it is like that. So in the same manner, Acharya Shankara is also trying to bring in the gadgets of the nature and try to educate the man into the realm of bhakti, and saying that, well, these are all the examples which you readily see, but pick up the quality and habits of them, and then accordingly mend and see that you don't wait for some more births to happen. This Punarbhavam, the happening of rebirth and rebirth and rebirth, no, you try to get the emancipation in the birth that is granted to you, by picking up the wisdom. Therefore, this in this 53rd sloka, 53rd sloka, you have the beautiful and Ichakrutim is one in 52, and in 53, Giyate ke Giyate Pranavaha. So when you Pranavanada is a Gana Nada, and it has got its own vibrations. When you say ah, and when Akara, Ukara, Makara, for more time, as long as you can hold your breath, you can keep on uttering that sound of Ankara, and Makara more duration, more matra, then the experience is quite different. Therefore, Pranava, that's why they say Pranava, and that Pranava is being explained to us in the Vedanta, which is Udyanavana, by in the Upanishads. So that's what is called Vidya. Vidya Sasya Panodayaya. What is the Sasya we want to ultimately expect? It is Vidya. So Vidya and Avidya, and Vidyaya Amrutamasnute, Avidyaya Mrutyum Tirtva, Vidyaya Amrutamasnute. So we have got a lot of Upanishadic connections. That's why when Shankara, who is the commentator for Dasha Upanishads, who has made a Prakarana Grantha, when he has written a Stotra Grantha, there are only 2 lyrics. These are very important lyrics, Sivananda Lahari and Saundarya Lahari, 100 slokas. There is no other text where Shankara has written so many slokas. Always Shankaracharya has given us stotras with numbering 8 stotras, or 10 or 12 or 32 or 36, like that, not beyond. See, Bhajagovinda Stotram is only one which contains, I believe, around 36 mantras, 36. Otherwise, all stotras hitherto given by Acharya Shankara, impressing all people about Ganapati or all that, they are all very short, but very much significant. It's something like in Telugu we say, Pitta Konchamu Kuta Ganamu. Though the size of the bird looks very small, but the sound that that bird produces is enormous, like that. So in Vedanta, we have to only pick up interest to get on to the garden, Vedanta. Whenever you get into garden, you always feel surprises. Oh, look at the flower. Look at the color of the flower. Oh, and same. So the earth contains all that wealth of coloring. And you see the plant, and also hybrid plants are there. Like that, Vedanta is a wonderful, veritable field of knowledge, attraction, entertainment, and delight. But all people cannot turn their attention to Vedanta because it is a little unattractive, like gold. You cannot see rich gold rush in the gold shops as much as you see in other duplicate of the gold things, that is in Huma gold or anything like that. So to get on to this Vedantic stotra content requires a special ear and special eye, and that we are able to enjoy it. So look at here, the next one I'm talking. Sandhya Dharma Dinatyayo. One time you recite.
Oh, Sandhya Dharma Dinatyayo.
Harikaraghata Prabhutanaka.
Harikaraghata Prabhutanaka.
Dhvano Varida Garjitam.
Dhvano Varida Garjitam.
Divishadam.
Divishadam.
Drishtichata Chanchala.
Drishtichata Chanchala.
So in this sloka, Vishnu plays the mridangam in the evening when Shiva is dancing. See, Anaka means the mridangam. Mridanga dhvani very much imitates the Megha dhvani. So there is that kind of comparison. So that's why Harikaraghata Prabhutanakam dhvanaha. In Hari is Mahavishnu. So Vishnu and Shiva both are performers. performing experts in the performing arts. Vishnu is instrumentalist, and Shiva is a dancer, and Parvati is a dancer. And therefore, you see that Sandhya Gharmatinachyayo. Gharma is the day, and Adhina Achaya means the end. At the end of the day, that is the cooling time, and in summer, then it becomes Sandhya. Sandhya is the junction point. We have three Sandhyas. Sandhya Devi Namostute. Sandhya Vidye Namostute. Sandhya is a Vidya. Sandhya is a tool. These days, people are interested to get their sons the initiation into that investiture or Upanayanam, but it is enthusiasm of the parents. But the boys getting the Upanayanam hardly continue to do Sandhya Vandanam. They don't do Agni Karyam. That is only once. In fact, when I spoke on Durga Saptasati in Kakinada, Gautama Lodge, a long years back, after the lecture, somebody came, an old gentleman came and told me, I remember him very much. I know contacts now. That, sir, I remember to have done Sandhya Vandanam when I was given that Sandhya Upanayanam, but afterwards I did not do it. Yesterday, listening to your talk on Sandhya Vandanam, I performed Sandhya and came to your lecture today. There are the kind of things will happen, but at least when people realize, that's why it's the Harikaragata Prabhutana Kadvana. The Dhvani of the Mridanga played by Vishnu at the end of the day and at the time of Sandhya. And Varida Garjitam Divishatam Drushtihi Jata Chanchala. So they thought the Divishada means all gods, they just mistook that there is going to be the clouds and the rumbling of the clouds, and that's what all gods thought, like that, staying in the sky. And again, Bhaktanam Paritosha Bashpa Vitatihi Vrishtihi. So what is the rain when clouds are there? And here, when Shiva is dancing and when Vishnu is playing Mridangam, and the Nadam is such that, and there is a water flow, the Santosha Ashru, Bhaktanam Paritosha Bashpa. See, all Bhaktas are simply thrilled and have living out the tears in their eyes. We all know that the Santosha Bashpa will be very thin, Dukkha Bashpa will be very thick. Therefore, it was an alarm, now it's okay. So, Bhaktanam Paritosha Bashpa. See, there are a number of metaphors in this sloka, and that is the importance of the poetry of the Sivananda Lahari, and all are in the same meter almost. Paritosha Bashpa Vitati Samuha, and that Paritosha Bashpa Vitati will be Vrishti, the shower of the rain. And Shiva Mayuri Ujjvala Tandavam Vijayate Tam Nilakantham Bhaje. So the Nilakantha is having the Tandava, because the Tandava is a vigorous dance, and Lasya is a very soft dance. So both are, Shiva and Parvati are the great contributors for the world of dance or the forms of dance. Therefore, Parvati, Lasya, Shiva's Tandava, and all that is so greatly impressive, and therefore such kind of Nilakantha, who is having that great Tandavan Nritya, him only we try to devote ourselves through our bhakti. So now everywhere you have got the metaphors. Dhvana, Anakadhvana is Mrudangadhvani. And Varidas are the clouds. Garjitam is the rumbling. Divishadam for the gods. Divishadam Drushti, the looks, the vision of the gods. And Chanchala. And whenever bhaktas, that is, who are the bhaktas? When Shiva is dancing to witness the Bhutaganas. Shiva has got a great retinue, parivara, and all the entire parivara is enjoying. Even today, in temples, we do that Pradosha Puja. Dosha is Ratri, Pradosha is just before Ratri, we start the puja. And during the Pradosha Puja, so important because Shiva is exquisitely happy, and have also ultimately ride upon the bull along with his wife. So the Parvati, there is so much of symbolism and description about the Sandhya Tandavan Nritya of Lord Shiva, and compared to the Nilakantha. And so a lot of metaphors have been used here, that his public dance, his cosmic dance is so impressive to all bhaktas, and also giving an aberration of thought to those people who are there in the sky, the gods. So that is to say that Vishnu, Shiva, Parvati, all gods in the sky, etc., all of them is involved in this, ultimately resulting into the performance of Lord Shiva. And in this aspect, Lord Shiva is Nilakantha. So I hope you understood. The Parameswara has been compared to a peacock and peacock sounds. And also there are many more descriptions or epithets which will tell that the musical, it becomes a Sandhya. That's why Sandhya time is very precious time. We have got so much of instruction how one should conduct in themselves during the Sandhya time. Now, next sloka I read. Adhyayamita tejase.
Adhyayamita tejase. Adhyayamita tejase.
Shruti padair vedyaya sadhyayate.
Shruti padair vedyaya sadhyayate. Shruti padair vedyaya sadhyayate.
Vidyanandamayatmane.
Vidyanandamayatmane. Vidyanandamayatmane.
Trijagataha samrakshanodyogine.
Trijagata samrakshanodhyogine. Trijagata samrakshanodhyogane.
Dhyeyaya khila yogibihi.
Dhyeyaya khila yogibihi. Dhyeyaya khila yogibihi.
Suraganairgeyaya mayavine.
Suraganairgeyaya mayavine. Suraganairgeyaya mayavine.
Samyak tandava sambramaya jatine.
Samyak tandava sambramaya jatine. Samyak tandava sambramaya jatine.
Seyam natishambhave.
Seyam natisambhave. Seyam natisambhave.
How beautiful is this sloka or description that Acharya Shankara is giving us the optimistic thinking and astikatvam, because Shankaracharya has fought with many scholars and driven away all those who promoted Veda Bhakya religions, Buddhism, Jainism, Jainas, and all those things, they don't believe Vedas as Pramanam. They are called Veda Bhakya religions. They are called hetero. And if people do not believe the existence of the God, Astikatvam, they will not have any kind of hope, sap, and program to look for, to work for. Therefore, here Acharya is establishing that Astikatva, whether it's a Vaishnavism or Saivism or Ganapatyam, they're all margas. Ganapatyam means making the Ganapati as the chief. And so there are so many, but whatever it is, all that turns into be an optimistic, positive way or calendar of life, which everybody born as human must work for. Because dharma, artha, kama, moksha are the aims of human purusharthas, they call it. Purushartham, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Between dharma and moksha, the artha kamas are sandwiched. So what is the sandwich substance that is more sweeter than that covering that sandwich? So generally people remove the top and remove the bottom and eat only the vegetable kept in the dish. Therefore, there are people like that. But no, when you enjoy the sandwich completely, that will be the total sampurna fulfillment. Therefore, dharma, artha, kama. When dharma, artha, and kama are taken care, moksha will automatically flow. Something like, say, dharma. For example, Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. Look at Rama. Rama is so much praised even today as a man ideal and so on, because Dharma, Vigrahavan Dharmaha. He is the very embodiment or ideal for Dharma. And before Dharma, he has sacrificed many things. Even though Father Dasaratha said, don't go. But when Kaikeyi said, Dasaratha said, don't go, then Rama says, no, aham tvam satyamichhami. I want my father to be a truthful person. So I don't want to listen to your prema or anything like that. That's why it is said, when Sita, Rama, and Lakshmana are sitting in the chariot car to be taken to the outskirts, and afterwards they have to go by walk. So when all the three are sitting, Sumantra, the driver, was about to start. Suddenly it is said that Dasaratha comes onto the balcony and shouts there, commanding that Sarathi, saying that no, Sumantra, don't drive, don't start the vehicle, don't go away, and don't take Rama away from my sight. Like that he shouts. Then exactly, that's the Rajagna there. Here the prince is sitting, and he, after all, a driver. Whom to listen? Should he listen to his father, Dasaratha, or Rama? Rama is telling drive. Ultimately, he was confused. He was sandwiched between these two fellows. And ultimately, Rama, being a Vigrahavan Dharma, says the driver, no, my father has lost hold on me. He has no authority on me. He has asked me to go away. So, Sumantra, start the vehicle, take me away. No more. He has authority on me to stop or ask you to divert. So that is the kind of dharma. Everywhere, there are hundreds of instances which you see in the life of Rama, where Rama has prepared. That's exactly what you see here also in the 50th stanza, that Amita Tejase Adhyaya. He is a Adya Amita Tejas. And to such type of Amita Tejas, which is primordial, which is original, which has not got any kind of beginning or end. Adhyaya means, that's why, everybody failed to find out the beginning and ending of Lord Shiva. Therefore, he is said to be the Mula Stambha. When you want to build the palace of the three lokas, pillar construction it is. So nobody knows the beginning of the pillar or the end of the pillar, but it is simply so Amita Tejase Jetine Seyam Natihi Sambhave. So who is this? He's a Jeti. Jeti means matted hair. He never combed his hair. Shiva never combed his hair. Therefore, the hair became matted. Why did not Shiva comb his hair? Not that not comb available for him, but he has no mother available for him. If mother were to be there, the mother would trim the baby right from the time necessary. But here, no mother for Shiva. Therefore, his hair became matted. That's one of explanation. So like that, nobody took care. In fact, there was a thing. Suddenly, Parvati asked, I mean, what is the name of your father and mother? My father and mother, Bhavan and Mena Devi, not Menaka, Mena Devi. And then Shiva in turn asked the question, I can name my father-in-law and my mother-in-law. Can you name your father-in-law and your mother-in-law? Then Parvati was baffled. She kept quiet. Like that, there are so many things going on. So in this Jetine, Amita Tejase, again the word used is Natihi. Because Nati is the ultimate one which you can offer to the God. Nati is the surrendering. Nati is the absolute surrender, or nothing you claim, everything to him. So you bow down your head. That's why in the beginning, Nati, and Nati is being emphasized by Shankara, because he says, Bhaja Govindam Bhaja, Govindam Bhaja, Govindam Bhaja. Why? Because Samprapte Sannihite Kale. So Samprapta Kala means every day we are losing our stipulated period of life. Day by day, the steps are down, 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 down. And Samprapti is when we become senior most citizens. So when you cross some age, then the senior people are all in the evening walk of life. Anytime they are liable for exit. That's what we imagine generally. So when it's Sannihite means the non-Nathanarian he was. When the time has very much closed, next moment, no guarantee. Every day is a bonus for senior citizens. And we are all under bonus enjoyment. But youngsters, their tomorrow is sure, we imagine. But for older people, tomorrow is not sure at all. So, but in this kind of uncertainty lurking over our head, what we do, Jetine, Natihi, Amita Tejase, Shivaya, Namaha. Okay, we'll continue with this description. So you see how much of spirit and enthusiasm and devotional levels, etc., have been presented by Acharya Shankara. And here there is no question of this is belonging to Shiva, unlike Saundarya, 41 slokas only of Lord Shiva, and other 59 slokas are by Acharya Shankara. This kind of division is not there in Shivananda Lahari. All the 100 slokas, no interpolations, are completely are the outcome of the spontaneous bhakti emotion of Lord Shankara to Shiva and all. That's why Sakshat Shankaro Babhuva. See that Shankara, Adi Shankara became the Shankaracharya, Acharya Shankara, and given us wonderful wealth to know the goals of life, the timetable, how to manage the goal. Om Swasti.
Om Swasti.
Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu.
Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu.
Sarvam Sri Matrucharanaravindarpanamastu.
Sarvam Sri Matrucharanaravindarpanamastu.
Om Tat Satu.
Om Tassatu.
బాబా నమస్కారం అండి.
Oh, Chara, very nice. Thank you very
Okay.
much. God bless. So we are enjoying the beauty, Ananda
Yes.
Bhashpas of this great Shivananda Lahari.
అవునండి.
Because Laharis give us happiness, so much
అవును.
happiness. Without
లహరి
our
అంటే
knowledge-
కెరటం కెరటం
Huh?
కెరటం కెరటం ఆనంద కెరటం లహరి అంటే
Yeah, definitely. It's a jerry.
Yeah.